Can you give a little bit of intro about yourself and Cube CoWork?
Awesome. So I'm Dr. Tammira Lucas. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the CoWork. We are a co-working brand that provides on-site babysitting services inside of our space so that parents can focus on building their business without feeling guilty about being a mom or being a dad. And not only that, to really help cultivate building generational wealth in low income areas where typically there are plenty of obstacles that come in the way of being successful, especially as a mom, and reducing the amount that moms are paying for childcare in a year. And so I created this space alongside of my business partner, who is also my sister. We came up with the idea 9 years ago. We launched 7 years ago, and now we are at a place where we are actually expanding and opening new locations across the United States.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So my next question is, what excites you the most about Cube CoWork?
Oh, that is a loaded question. There's a lot of things that actually excite me about the Cube CoWork. Looking at where we started 7 years ago to where we are now, and the impact that we've not only had within our personal lives, but on the lives of others that have touched our space, has been astronomical. I get so many thank yous or, just comments about how the space has cultivated their growth in business or even in life. The other thing that excites me is the fact that we bootstrapped this company. We took out personal funds and we built something from 1,200 square feet to now where we are at 15,000 square feet. And we're looking to acquire about another 30,000 square feet. And so to go from something so small to where we are now and where we're trying to go really does excite me about the future.
So you mentioned that you get letters from your customers. Has there been like one story that's ever stood out to you? If you can share that.
So we had a mom that started with us in, I think, 2017. So roughly a little after we started, and she had a 6-week-old child, and she left at the end of last year, or maybe it's been a year actually now, because she moved to a different state. But when she moved with from being a mom of one to being a mom of three. And we have had the opportunity to help nurture each of those children. And she always talks about how she's a photographer and how if it wasn't for the Cube, that she doesn't think that she would have been able to expand the way that she expanded, in addition to be able to balance being a mother of three while running an actual business. So hearing stories like that always melts my heart, because it does show that what we've built is something that is actually needed.
Definitely. And that's a really touching story, kind of like really ties in with exactly what you're trying to do. My next question is, how does your team's background align with the company's vision and mission?
So our core team all have expertise in different things. I have 3 business degrees, and so I'm more of, the business operation side and understanding the functions of business. My sister actually doesn't have a background in anything that we do besides being a mother. However, her skills that she's been able to gain through her career in the criminal justice world, and just honestly, just being a very responsible individual when it comes to money, has helped her be a really good COO. And then we have a marketing guru who has helped brands like Saks expand on our marketing team as well. And so their expertise and value has helped us grow to where we are today and where we're going to go in the future. And I think the other unique part about people that we bring on our team is that we look at complementary skills. So what skills don't we have? And we try to bring those individuals on to help us move our business forward.
Great. My next question is, how do you balance short-term profitability with long-term sustainability?
That's a really good question. So I'm always looking at the long-term goal here, right? There's a lot of times where we don't take a salary, and that's specifically so that we can strategically invest it in areas within a company that we know will ultimately bring long-term success and long-term revenue. I think for me, it's just looking at the value of the sacrifice that needs to be made, and what are the long-term business goals here, but what are also my long-term personal goals in the sense of the legacy that I want to leave. And so for me, personally, that short-term profitability, although we've been profitable every year since we've started, I think for me, I'm willing to sacrifice a profit in order to make a long-term profit if I have to.
That's great. Where do you really see CoWork going? And like, what is the vision for the next 5 years?
So in the next 5 years, we'll definitely be a national brand. We'll definitely have several locations across the United States. And hopefully we will have been able to at least launch a franchise opportunity, because that's something that we are definitely interested in doing.
That sounds good. So the next set of questions are kind of aimed towards the investors, and coming from that standpoint, what led you to choose a crowdfunding route instead of traditional fundraising methods?
We were very, very intentional about choosing this route. The goal is for our community members to become investors in our company. Where I grew up in Baltimore City, being an investor of anything was something that was never talked about, or I was never given an opportunity. And so for me, I want to change the mindset of individuals in my community to understand that investment is something that can actually happen. And so choosing this platform allowed us to give an opportunity for people to invest as low as $100, right? And while we know, you invest $100, you're not going to become a gazillionaire off of $100. But what it does do is change your mindset and your relationship with money and the ability to allow money to grow. And so we can change the mindset of an individual. We know that we can change the trajectory. And so for us, it was definitely very intentional to have the community become investors. And not only that, we know that when a community owns something, they're more likely to take care of it as well. And so we're not just saying, hey, we're in your community. We're saying, no, we're in your community and we want you to own part of the community as well.
That's actually really inspiring, because I think when crowdfunding was started, that was kind of the mission behind it, of letting your community be part of your round.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I love that you're doing that, and that's why you chose crowdfunding.
Yes.
How do you ensure that investor interests are aligned with the company's growth?
So with I would say right now with the crowdfunding opportunity, that is really hard for us to be able to do that, because anyone can ultimately invest. Now, when we do expand investment, as far as like being very strategic about investment, bigger investment, and not like those crowdfunding investment, I think it's important for me anyway to have an individual or have investors that do understand the work that we're doing, the impact that we're trying to have, and why we are actually doing these things. So it's important for it to really align, because I've seen or heard of horror stories of investors that really don't align with the brand or don't understand, but see the opportunity because they're going to, get their money back.
Yeah,
Or make money, I should say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really important to have like investors that kind of understand your vision and really believe in what you're building as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is related more towards like crowdfunding investors, but what's your plan for keeping them informed even after like the round ends?
Well, we'll definitely be sending out updates on a consistent basis, making sure that they have access to our reports and things like that. So we do plan on, we know that not all of our investors are local, but we hope to have like small, intimate events where we can invite investors in different areas to come and engage with us. And especially when we're opening up other locations, to have them inside of the space, and to welcome them, inside.
That's great.